What's up, guys? Welcome back to Healthy Recipe. We're going to be making some venison chili today. We're going to be making it with some dry pinto beans in the crock pot. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So let's get right to work. Alright, so let's go over our ingredients. See what we got here. I have 1 red onion finely minced. I have about 1/3 of a cup of finely chopped cilantro, crushed red pepper. This is entirely optional. About 10 cloves of garlic, finely minced. Smoked paprika. I have 3 pounds of venison backstrap that has been brined for a few hours. Basically just 3% saline solution, salt and water. Take the water out once the blood has been seeped. What it does is it pulls the blood from the meat and it takes out a lot of the gameness. If you want to cook like wild game and you don't like how strong it tastes, or you want to mellow it out a little bit, this is a great way to do it. Just salt water basically. Just change the water a few times every 30 minutes and you're gonna get a lot of that flavor out. So I have here 5 finely diced jalapenos. Some of them were ripening, so they turned red. That's the reason why they're that color. 1 cup of dry cooking wine. You can use white cooking wine. You could actually probably even use like a Merlot on this recipe. I have some rendered bacon fat. I usually get uncured bacon, and what I do is I save the fat for recipes like this because the deer meat is so lean. Basically has no fat in it. I want to use some of this fat to add some flavor to it, and also to make it a little bit more tender and more palatable. I have 1.5 cups of crushed organic tomatoes, garlic salt, cumin, and 2 pounds of kidney beans that I left soaking overnight. They swell up a lot, but this was actually 2 pounds of dry kidney beans, and you want to give these about 3 or 4 hours soaking before you cook them. If not, they'll be incredibly tough. So that's basically everything we got. We're going to go ahead and start sauteing some of our aromatics before we go into the crock pot. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a heaping tablespoon of this bacon fat, and I'm going to use that to saute our aromatics. Start building our flavor. Garlic, onions, jalapeno peppers, okay, while we have this cooking, we're going to go ahead and add our beans and some of our other ingredients to our crock pot just to get those going, and then we'll add this to that. Okay, so first thing we're going to add is our wet ingredients. We're going to mix them together. We're going to add our crushed tomatoes, our white cooking wine. We're going to mix that all up. And we may have to add some beef broth to this. But we will add that later as needed. Go ahead and add our beans. Cilantro. Red chili flakes. About a half a tablespoon. About a teaspoon of garlic salt. We'll add later more to taste. About a teaspoon of cumin also. We'll also adjust that. Paprika, 1 teaspoon. Smoked paprika actually. And give that all a nice stir. Now we're going to add our deer, which is creating his own broth over here, which is going to add more flavor, more liquid. We're going to give all this a nice mix. And as this cooks down, it's going to become really tender, and the deer is going to release a lot of its juice, and it's going to become a really, really nice mixture. So we're going to go ahead and run it on low for 8 hours. I'm going to put the lid on it, and we'll come back in about 3 or 4 hours to take a look at it, see what it's doing. Okay, so there we have our finished chili. It really broke down a lot because these beans took a long time to soften. From now on, I'll probably use canned beans when it's in the slow cooker. I think that for some reason the slow cooker do not tenderize the beans as well as the other different pots. But it tastes really, really good. Has a lot of flavor, and it is broken down nicely. Still has some decent chunks of meat in there that are really tender. Okay, so there we have our chili done. Now basically I'm just gonna top it off with some shredded cheddar cheese and a little bit of cilantro to add some of that cilantro freshness. It goes really well with chili, and also some color. So there it is. There is my venison chili with pinto beans, topped with cheddar cheese, white onions, and cilantro. I hope you guys really liked the video. It's really, really nice. It came out really well, even though the beans were tougher than I expected. I still worked it out. Just another lesson learned on working with crock pots. So if you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already for more video updates. And I'll see you guys on the next one. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. It looks amazing. It smells amazing. Really good with the cheese and the onion. Wow, it's really delicious. Everything came together really well. It's almost like it's very like thick, but at the same time it has like so much flavor. Guys, if you like chili, you have to try this one. It's really, really good. The only thing I could say is if you're gonna do it in the crock pot, use canned beans. Definitely don't use the dry ones because it took a while for them, longer, to soften up and to become like this. It seemed like it took more work than it should have. And like I said, you guys could use beef to do this also. You don't have to do venison. You could do the same exact recipe with beef chuck, and it will come out great.